Hello and welcome back to the TGG Dark Ages campaign. We're doing level 2, we get our first campaign features, and we have Rats has with spoils, which I imagine I can guess what that means. Yeah, when you gain this, gain the spoils, pretty much exactly what you would expect. Anyway, let's look at what we've got here. So we've got well, the first thing that jumps out at me is that we've got Hermit Market Square, which I should probably talk about a little bit because I don't know if people are necessarily going to be familiar with that particular combo. So, the idea with Hermit Market Square is you gain a bunch of hermits and you gain a bunch of market squares, and then, and the hermits can gain more hermits and market squares, but then you use Hermit to trash. And react with market square and gain a bunch of golds, and then you don't buy anything, you gain Madman, and then you play a bunch of Madmen, and you play a bunch of market squares, and you play a bunch of golds, and you buy a bunch of provinces. That strategy, it's been around a long time. It did change when Hermit changed from like trashing itself to exchanging. So Hermit itself turning into Madman no longer triggers the market squares, so you have to have it like something to trash. On the other hand, the hermits are like replenishable. Anyway, it's in general, I think, played as a pretty monolithic combo. I don't have a ton of personal experience playing with it, but I think it's generally pretty monolithic. Like, I don't know how much it benefits from having other stuff. Looking at this board, though, like the thing that jumps out at me is like it is good to be able to thin coppers, and we can do that in a lot of different ways. And then that also means that we can continue to be able to trigger market squares without having to trash a non-treasure, which is at the very least like the flexibility is nice. I also actually don't know what the opening is supposed to be, although I expect it's double hermit. So like Rats is interesting because Rats would not only trash non-treasures, but also the hermits can then trash the rats and draw a card. The problem with Rats actually is that they come with the spoils. Like, you don't really want... I mean, you might think like, well, spoils are as good as golds. And I don't know. I think the timing on that is wrong. They might otherwise be. But yeah, like, I mean, the fact that you can get rid of the spoils is in some ways a benefit, depending on the timing. But like, you don't want the spoils early in the game. They're not accomplishing anything. They're just getting in the way. So I think as far as trashing coppers goes, like either counterfeit or junk dealer. Junk dealer not being a stop card is nice. Counterfeit giving buy is nice. I guess there's also forager. Forager can be I guess it is nice to be able to like draw the stuff back up when you discard with the market squares, right? And so that's the advantage, and another advantage of junk dealer and forager. Forager is cheaper and can be gained with hermit. So that might actually be what we end up doing, but I don't think we want to open with forager for that purpose. I think we want to open double hermit and then kind of see how it goes. They get a junk dealer. That's probably bad, actually. Like, I mean, I don't know if the AI is going to try to play hermit market square stuff anyway, but I suspect that opening junk dealer here is just actively bad. All right. Anyway, I guess the question is, do we want a madman, like a hermit and a madman already, or do we want to like we gain another hermit and buy a market square? See, this is what I mean. I haven't like labbed out this combo. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to play it. We do have an Acropolis in our deck, which makes stuffing more hermits into the deck like a more viable thing to do. We take... Just trying to think. So, like, let's assume next turn that we see our Hermit. Our options are... We see our Hermit, and we probably only have 3 coins again, because we probably see, like, Hermit hovel through copper. That's the most likely hand. If... I think we were going to want to get at least 1 market square. There's no way we don't hit 3 next turn, and maybe that's the best argument for taking the Madman now, is if we bottom deck our Hermit, we won't be able to take 1 next turn. Yeah, okay. I think we go Hermit here. And then exchange. Okay, and now we buy a market square. I guess you could argue it should have been a Forager or another Hermit, but... Alright, so... I mean, the nice thing about having the market square is we have the plus buy. We could go ahead and take a Junk Dealer here if we want Junk Dealer as our Trasher instead of Forager. And it is probably just better, so I think so. Which means... I think we go double market square. I don't think getting a 3rd Hermit makes as much sense with only the Necropolis in the deck. I mean, it could. It certainly could. 2 market squares right now. Yeah, actually, let's get a 3rd Hermit. We should probably go ahead and trash copper with Junk Dealer, just because that's the only way we can do that. Alright, so we have 3 Hermits. We're not going to be able to play... Oh, no, we are. We have the Necropolis. Right, okay. So we take another Hermit, and we get a Madman. I mean, we have to see the Madman to be able to play all 3 of them, but still. Should we go ahead and trash the Necropolis here, knowing that we can get another Madman? Probably. We have the Junk Dealer to activate the market squares. Necropolis is a stop card. Alright. Yeah, let's get another Hermit and a Madman. By another Hermit, I mean keep the Hermit, basically. Alright. Madman. Are we ready for gold? I think maybe not. And then, so down here we have another Hermit, a Madman. It'd be nice to leave the Madman on top, is why I'm thinking about not playing these market squares. We can just go Hermit, Hermit, get a couple of Madmen. Oof. We have a lot of Madmen now. Well, I mean, I guess we only have 2. Tricky. We need more market squares. We also don't want to run too low on Hermits. We get one of each, and then we have 2 hermits. We can gain and play hermit to ramp that back up, so I think... Although, on the other hand, we can also gain and play market square. Maybe that makes more sense. Two, three, four, five, six, 7. Okay, so we're overdrawn by 1 here, which means we can gain a market square, like I was saying. And save these other 2 madmen. Gain another market square with this hermit. Probably still don't gain any gold this turn. Just do... Oh, we might be low on hermits, though. I wanted to gain another market square, but... Yeah, we need to gain another hermit. Or we need to not do any exchanging. Which is an option. We have 2 madmen, so what we could do is, like, this turn, we gain market square by market square. And then next turn, we go in for more madmen. And then the turn after that, we get a bunch of provinces. Something like that. What turn is it? 10? This doesn't actually feel particularly fast. I'm probably not playing this correctly. It'd certainly not be surprising. On the other hand, okay, if we gain a hermit now, we'll have 5 madmen, 4 market squares, and 1 hermit. I don't know, that just feels like not enough to me. All right. We do want to get some golds this turn, I think. But on the other hand, we need to see... Okay, there's at least 1 hermit. All right. 1 madman can beget more madmen, so I think... we still have 3 hermits. Be nice not to have to play this one. Yeah, okay, I think... Don't have another madman down there. We do have a couple more hermits. I want to draw the hermits is the problem. But we do need to gain some gold at some point here. Maybe... If we use this madman to draw both of the other hermits, then we can replace it. So that part is fine. So I guess we can just gain 3 gold, and then we still draw this, and then we go hermit. We have 6 market squares right now. Is that enough? It's probably enough. Do we need 3 hermits? We're going to end up with 3 madmen. Might be good enough. Just thinking about, like, are we going to need another turn of taking more madmen, basically? And even if so, do we need 3 hermits for it? Maybe not. Maybe we take a market square with this one. Okay. Doop. Doop. I think now we're just doing... So we'll still have 1 hermit left. Spent a madman, we gain a madman. Now we have more gold. Maybe we should take 1 more hermit. I'm really not sure. If it wasn't obvious. Okay, they take a province. We're expecting to be able to get like 4 or 5 provinces on our biggest turn, so that's not exactly threatening. Need that. We either need to trash a hermit, or well, So right now we have 15, 16, 17 coins. Discard 4 market squares. What do we have down there? Junk dealer. I think we may have 1 more copper. No, we don't. So junk dealer. Oh, I think we have a 7th market square. Junk dealer, market square, and I guess it must be a gold. So we have 20 coins right now. Junk dealer, trash and copper means it's actually 19. We gain 4 golds. That's like, so we could potentially have 5 provinces this turn. The hermit, trash, hermit, and then discard all of this stuff. We have 7 cards left. And we'd have 4 golds in the discard, plus these 3 cards. Yeah, that does work. Oh, right. Do we want another market square, or do we want another hermit? Well, we're not going to gain... We're not going to get madman this turn, so we might as well take the market square. Okay. We don't want to gain more golds that we can't draw, so we might as well just play these market squares. And we have, I guess that last gold was really kind of pointless. 4 provinces, still pretty good. Don't think there's anything we can add to our deck that improves it. So yeah, now we just have mostly a bunch of gold and a bunch of market squares, and we should be able to province out. Just don't play this junk dealer. That's actually a pretty unfortunate draw altogether, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Still closer than it probably should have been, and probably I don't think I played this correctly. Like I said, I haven't labbed it out. I don't know how you're supposed to, like, what the balance you're supposed to... I think there was, at least back in the day, I think there was a very specific, like, you're supposed to gain this many hermits and this many market squares and this, like, ratio and whatever, but that might have all been conditional on the ability of hermit to trash itself to trigger the market squares, so I don't know if that's changed, but whatever. We got there. I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah. I feel like I should have been able to get a 5 province turn instead of the 4 province turn as well. So I feel like I super didn't play it well. Like, I mean, 5 provinces. Maybe that isn't realistic, because to get 5 provinces, you would need 40 coins, and 40 coins is 14 golds. That's a lot of gold. That is a lot of gold. Yeah, no, that's probably never mind. All right, maybe 4 provinces is the target, and maybe I probably shouldn't have even taken the last gold that I did, because like I said, I mean, I didn't do the math before I took it. I was just like, well, I can draw it, so I might as well. But realistically, there was no value in having that gold. I mean, I guess you could say that once I had the provinces in the deck, that the increased gold density made it easier to get the last provinces. But anyway, like I said, it was closer than it probably should have been, though. Like, the AI's deck wasn't really anything, but I guess they counterfeited a bunch of stuff at the end. But I guess I didn't really. I zeroed in on Hermit Market Square so fast. I didn't really talk that much about the rest of the board, which should have done. I mean, the thing is, there's no other draw on the board, so like they managed to collide this, but it's not easy, right? To collide counterfeit gold when you have no draw. Like, that's 4 stop cards. You just have to draw them all together. I mean, they did 2 counterfeits gold and 2 market squares, and then they play market square and draw gold, and then a province. But like, yeah, having a turn this good and is not likely with their deck. So I mean, even in that context, like, it's like, and they're still behind. But I nonetheless, I think Hermit Market Square should beat whatever the AI was doing worse than I actually did. So, but hopefully this at least conveyed like some notion of this is like a powerful combo. It probably didn't. I probably just executed it too poorly. But it really is. And it's probably, you can probably make it significantly faster. I mean, I guess the one thing is, I don't really know, like, it is, like I said, supposed to be this monolithic thing, so which means it's supposed to work without copper trashing. It must mean you end up with more madmen than I ever had at once. I don't think I ever got up to 4, let alone 5 in my deck at once, and I think you probably would need that if you weren't getting rid of your coppers. So that's, I don't know. I guess I just there's a lot of things I don't know about the intricacies of Hermit Market Square, I suppose. But in any case, thanks for watching. And I'll see you next time for level 3. This has a picture of a knight. We managed to dodge knights here, but don't expect that we'll be so fortunate for the rest of the campaign. But I guess we'll see. Until then.